Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that's close to our hearts. Deciphering the signs that show us when God does not want us to be with someone. Now, you might be wondering if your relationship aligns with God's plan for you. Well, fret not. We have some crystal clear indicators that will help you determine if God wants you to stay, or if it's time to surrender to His greater scheme. Love and companionship are universal desires, no doubt about it. But what happens when the person you're with isn't the one God has destined for you? How can you discern His intentions? Before we explore these signs, let's take a moment to reflect on two essential truths. First, we turn to Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11, which says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in a future." While this verse was directed at a specific group, it reveals the nature of our loving God. He has plans, and they are good, not destructive. Remember, His intentions are never to harm you. Next, we find guidance in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, which states, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Now these signs we're about to unveil can be tough pills to swallow. Yet, we must always remember that God's plan for us surpasses our own. In Isaiah chapter 55 verses 8 and 9, we are reminded that His thoughts and ways are higher than ours. Sometimes, understanding God's methods can be challenging, but our job is to trust Him implicitly. The first telltale sign that God may not want you with someone is a lack of respect. Are you receiving the love and respect you deserve? Or do you find yourself constantly belittled and made to feel inferior? Because that is not how God wants you to be treated. He won't send someone into your life who demeans or abuses you. As Ephesians chapter 5 verse 25 says, "Husbands should love their wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave Himself for it." One common mistake people make before tying the knot is believing they can change their partner. Let me be clear, my friends. Only God can transform someone. If your significant other lacks respect now, chances are it won't magically appear after marriage. Similarly, if infidelity exists before marriage, it's likely to persist afterward. People don't tend to change easily, and it's not your responsibility to change them. It's delusional to think otherwise. In a relationship where God's hand is present, both partners should constantly display love and respect toward each other. They should build each other up, encourage personal growth, and affirm each other's worth. However, if you find yourself being constantly treated with disrespect, belittled, or made to feel less than you are, it's a clear indication that something is amiss. God desires that you be cherished, valued, and respected in your relationships. He will not send someone into your life who diminishes your worth or engages in abusive behavior. The biblical guidance from Ephesians chapter 5 verse 25 demonstrates the sacrificial love and utmost respect that should characterize a God-centered relationship. If your partner consistently shows a lack of respect, such as infidelity, dishonesty, or untrustworthiness, it is crucial to pay attention to these red flags. Trust is a vital foundation for a healthy relationship, and if it's repeatedly broken before marriage, it's unlikely to improve afterward. Moving on to the second sign, a lack of peace. Do you constantly feel uneasy and anxious when you're around this person? Does your mind question the relationship repeatedly? These feelings indicate that something is not right. God promises us peace that surpasses all human understanding. However, when He wants you to part ways with the person you're with, peace will elude you. Conflicts and arguments will continually arise, disrupting any sense of harmony. God won't send someone into your life who adds stress and anxiety. This lack of peace is not to be confused with normal disagreements in a relationship or occasional conflicts. Even the most peaceful and harmonious relationships have their fair share of challenges. However, in a relationship where God's hand is absent, these conflicts tend to escalate and disturb the overall peace. They may become a recurring pattern, preventing the two of you from moving forward together. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 14 says that as believers, we are encouraged to pursue peace and maintain it in our relationships. This means actively seeking harmony, understanding, and resolution. So, when examining your relationship, ask yourself if you and your partner genuinely pursue peace when conflicts arise. Let's move on to the third sign, a lack of shared values. If you don't see eye to eye on essential beliefs and values, it's a clear indicator that God may not want you together. Shared values are essential for a harmonious and God-centered relationship. When two individuals have aligned values and beliefs, it becomes easier to build a lasting relationship that honors God and fosters mutual growth. In 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14, we are advised not to be yoked with unbelievers. This biblical guidance cautions us against entering into relationships where there is a fundamental disparity in values and beliefs. When two people have conflicting values, it can create significant challenges and hinder their ability to walk together in unity. As you evaluate your relationship, consider whether your values and beliefs align with your partner's. Are you both on the same page when it comes to matters such as faith, morality, integrity, and purpose? Do you share a common vision for the future? When values are not shared, it becomes difficult to navigate important life decisions and challenges as a couple. Conflicts may arise due to differing perspectives on issues that hold deep significance. For instance, if one partner prioritizes their relationship with God and seeks to live in accordance with His principles, while the other embraces a lifestyle that opposes God's commands, it can create a rift that is difficult to overcome. Being equally yoked means finding someone who shares your values and beliefs and is committed to living them out in their daily life. This foundation of shared values provides a solid basis for understanding, respect, and cooperation in a relationship. It is important to note that shared values don't mean complete uniformity in every aspect. Differences can exist, but the key is having a core set of values that align and serve as a guiding principle for your relationship. By seeking a partner who shares your values, you increase the likelihood of building a relationship that honors God and stands the test of time. Together, you can grow spiritually, support one another in pursuing godly goals, and navigate life's challenges with unity and understanding. Finally, the fourth sign is a lack of support in your journey with Christ. Does this person encourage your spiritual growth? Or do they discourage you from attending church or spending time in prayer? A true partner sent by God will want to see you draw closer to Him, not pull you away. Take a lesson from the story of King Solomon. Despite being blessed with wisdom and wealth, he made a grave error by marrying foreign women who turned his heart away from the Lord. They led him astray, worshiping other gods and leading him down the wrong path. The consequence? Conflict, strife, and a tarnished legacy. This teaches us the importance of being cautious about the people we allow into our lives. Not everyone who enters our lives is sent by God. We need to exercise discernment to identify those who are truly on God's path. It is essential to be aware of the dangers of allowing our hearts to be swayed by worldly temptations and distractions. If a person in your life consistently undermines your faith, encourages you to compromise your beliefs, or leads you away from a godly lifestyle. It's crucial to recognize these warning signs. Remember that a person sent by God will demonstrate their commitment to Christ through their actions, bearing godly fruits such as love, kindness, patience, and self-control. Conversely, someone influenced by negative forces may exhibit characteristics that contradict God's nature. By observing the character and virtue displayed by the people in your life, you can gain insight into their true intentions and whether they align with God's plan for your life. So, my friends, exercise discernment when it comes to those you allow into your life. Not everyone is sent by God, and we must be cautious of worldly temptations that can divert us from Him. And there you have it. These signs will help you discern whether God wants you to continue in a relationship or follow a different path. Trust in His plan, even when it's hard to understand, and remember that His intentions are always for your ultimate good. Stay tuned for more insightful discussions on our channel. Until next time, may God's wisdom guide your steps.